So my kids keep me humble. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble.
That was the governor of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, engaging in some pretty vile rhetoric against her political opponent, Donald Trump's political opponent, Kamala Harris, during a town hall in Michigan, essentially implying that anyone who doesn't have their own biological children are unable to be humble because, you know, her kids keep her humble, except the behavior she just engaged in is anything but. But you know, keep going in this direction. I'm sure it's going to bode well for a campaign to constantly shame and judge people who don't have children in America.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
Well, biological children, by the way, because Kamala Harris has stepchildren.
Yeah, I feel conflicted about it because on the one hand, I should encourage them to do it because they're just giving away thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of votes. So if you can't have kids, or you try to have kids and couldn't do it, or you don't want to have kids because you made a decision on your own about that, or you got stepkids, on and on and on.
Or you haven't found the right partner to have children with.
Right, and our members have written in with 1,000 stories just like that. Who's gonna vote for you after these monsters tell you you're not as good as us, you're not worthy, right? You don't have a stake in this country. You're not as American as we are. You're not as important as we are, okay? And you know what? You're also not as humble as we are. Well, that ain't the most ironic thing I've ever heard. So I should be saying, oh, here's more rope. Go for it, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. But I had a visceral reaction to that clip.
Yeah, so did I.
And you couldn't hear it in the studio, but I shouted out, F you, okay, but the real thing. And it's because they're unbearable. How dare you judge the rest of us? And I got kids, I got 2 kids. That doesn't make me better than anyone else. It doesn't make me more humble. I didn't turn humble. And Charlie Kirk said it on our show. They say it, JD Vance said, they keep implying, well, until you have kids, you're a monster. No, you guys are monsters. Don't put that on the rest of us. We're not monsters until we have kids. And then they have kids, they're like, oh my God, it turns out you could care about another human being. I've never felt this emotion before. Yes, that's because you're a bad person.
Well, in other related news today, Senate Republicans did something super interesting. They actually, that's right, they blocked an IVF bill. You know, the medical treatment that people who want to conceive and have children need to rely on, but health insurance doesn't cover it in most cases. So a lot of people can't afford it, can't do it, and don't end up having their own biological kids as a result of that. And while Donald Trump, while campaigning, alleged that he wanted to force insurance companies to pay for it or get the government to pay for IVF treatments, in reality, that is not something that Republicans are in favor of at all. Senate Republicans blocked the IVF bill today. The bill, which is Senate Bill 4445, would have provided individuals with the right access to fertility treatments without limitation or interference. So remember, there are certain states like Alabama which think, it's a human life at the moment of conception or the second sperm enters the egg. And because of how IVF treatments work, how this fertility treatment works, they think that the fertilized eggs that don't end up getting utilized for the treatment is basically the same as murdering a human being. And so there are some states that might restrict IVF treatments as a result of this. And so Congress is trying to codify the right to get IVF treatments, and Senate Republicans just blocked it.
Yeah, so this is part of why I loathe Republicans, politicians. And so let me explain, guys. First of all, we will tell you what no one in mainstream media tells you, which is that almost all the politicians are liars. So the Democrats will do 5% of something and then demand 200% credit, and then gaslight the living hell out of you if you say, wait, but you literally did 5% or 10%. It's in the numbers, right? They'll regulate the price of one drug or able to negotiate the price of one drug, and then make it seem like they did every drug and demand credit for all of it. Giant liars, right? So we give no quarter to any politician here. But Republicans, They do the exact opposite of what they say. They'll just go out there and be like, we're for IVF. We're gonna make the government pay for IVF. The Democrats just go, okay, well, we're in favor of IVF. That's an easy vote. Okay, let's vote for IVF. And they go, no way, no. Okay, we don't want a stupid IVF. And then they'll go on TV and be like, we love IVF. We're just trying to give people IVF, but golly gee, it just didn't happen. After every shooting, they come out and go, oh, mental health, we need to do more mental health. It's not guns, it's mental health. Democrats put together a mental health bill. Ones that they said on air, Republicans said on air that's the thing that they like. They're like, no. They're the ones who killed the funding for mental health. They say, okay, here's the bill we want for immigration because the border is a disaster. Democrats say, yes, okay, we'll take your bill, okay? Written by a Republican from Oklahoma. And we'll just say, you guys win, here's the bill. Nope, kill it. They're the biggest liars in the whole country.
Election security is another example. Claim that, there's widespread fraud happening. We need to protect our elections. Legislation is proposed, and the party that votes against it is the Republican Party. Now, just to give you some more information about the Senate Republicans blocking the IVF bill. So it failed to garner the necessary 60 votes to achieve cloture. We're very familiar with that in the Senate, aren't we? And 51 senators actually voted in favor of cloture, 44 voted against. All 44 nay votes were casted by Republicans who care deeply about ensuring that you're able to have biological children.
Yeah, and okay, meanwhile, so the meta lie for the Republicans is, we're populists, we're for the average guy. Okay, what are you doing for the average guy? Are you doing paid family leave so they can get some time off after having a baby? Because you guys say you're pro-life, you care so much about babies. No paid family leave. Back to the lines, back to the assembly lines. Okay, yeah, but guys, we are living under corporate rule. We're tied at the hip to our job. We can't leave because of the healthcare situation, the wages are low. No on minimum wage, but yes on what? Giant corporate tax cuts. Huge liars. The absolute biggest liars in the country are Republican politicians. And then they go, family values. We care so much about every family in America. You don't have kids, you shouldn't get to vote. And you're proud, you're sinful, you're a bad person. I'm a good person because I have kids. Look, wow, you seem like you're really into family values.
But to be fair, look, I don't know about Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but on average, people who have their own biological children do tend to be a lot more humble, right? I mean, like, look at people like Elon Musk. I mean, he's got kids from a bunch of different women. Or Donald Trump, kids from a bunch of different women. They're some of the most humble people in the country.
By the way, I've got 2 kids. Do I look humble to you? Okay, so this is an absurd talking point to attack people that didn't do anything wrong, that are just normal Americans. And then the final irony, we're against big government. Tyrannical government comes around here, Second Amendment, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're like, now here's what government wants you to do. You get your doctor out of the room. I'm telling you what to do with your body. I now own your body. Marijuana, no way. You're not allowed to smoke it, okay? I own your body. Big government's gonna tell you what to do. You don't have kids? Shut up and make kids. How are you gonna have sex? You don't have them with that person. Don't have it with that person. I'm gonna tell you who to have sex with. I'm gonna tell you who to get married to. I'm gonna tell you how many kids to have. But I'm for small government. Are you? Or are you the biggest liar in the country? Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.